Hi, so in the previous episode, we made some excellent progress. However, what this episode has to offer would have more than what the previous episode would have. The previous episode has nothing compared to this one. So, ladies and gents, welcome back to Divinity SMP. Now, if you wanna know what is the Divinity SMP, well, I have a video that will show up somewhere, probably in the link in the description, but probably somewhere that just popped up a few seconds ago in the top right. It's a video that explains the basic idea of our SMP. So without further ado, let's get started. So first of all, we got some new members to our SMP. We got my boy Jovan and the new guy Hogan. So I gave them a tour around the place, then I explained the basic, the idea of the SMP. So instead of starting their own nation, Hogan decided to join Mouthy's nation while Jovan decided to join mine. So having a new member on my side, I decided to take him to my base. So Jovan took the attic. After that, we went to a mine shaft. Then a creeper jumped on me and killed me. I got back, then I mined some obsidian. After that, we went back to our base and I made an enchantment table. Then we planned on making another portal, cause we had a lava pool nearby our temple. So why not make use of it? Once we got into the portal, we got in a pretty good spawn. You know why? Because there was a bastion right nearby. Now we took some time exploring this bastion and, looting it. But let me tell you, we got the best loot possible. You wanna know what it is? No, not that one. Yeah, pig step. Soon after that, we got a new member. So I sailed back to spawn to, do what I did in a few minutes ago. I gave them a tour and explained some stuff, just like what I did earlier. After that, I returned to my base. After that, I made an enchantment room, and at some point, Yammy eventually joined my nation and already moved in. So like I said, I already made an enchantment room, so what do you do with an enchantment table? You enchant your gear. And so I did. And I was looking good. Then I named them, why not name them? After that, I named my two pet fish, Cody and Simon. After that, I went back to the nether to, explore. So, sometime exploring, I found a fortress. I encountered a wither skeleton, and I managed to get a skull, which was pretty cool, to be honest. Then I got back home and made a brewing stand, cause I wanted to make weakness potions for the two zombie villagers that I've locked up at spawn. Once the potions were ready, Jovan and I sailed to spawn. We then found this weird black market thing at spawn. It was a book written for each nation. Yeah, however, that was a story for some other time. Now, it's time to focus on our two first citizens of our nation. So I splashed a weakness potion at them and fed them both gapples. It took some time, but they eventually healed and returned back to normal as a villager. Jovan and I then brought them to our base. However, on the way, we encountered another zombie villager. So we locked them up just like what we did to the two villagers we're bringing home right now. When we got to our base, it took a while to get them in, but eventually, we did. We then realized one of the villagers we brought home was a green guy. And the thing about green guys are that they are pretty useless. They are the useless batch of villagers. Like, they do not take jobs. They just don't do anything. You can't trade with them. You can't give them a job. They're just useless. They're just an average, useless, loud villager. So having only one useful villager, I decided to find another villager to bring home. And I knew exactly where to find one. So on my way to find that zombie villager that I locked up earlier, I managed to find a sunken ship, got a treasure map, which is pretty cool, and eventually I found the guy. So once I got this guy back home, I instantly breeded them with the other villagers, cause I need to populate. After some time, I realized the main floor was really noisy, like all the humming and all the loud noises these villagers make. And the thing is, I sleep on this floor. I sleep like my bed is just nearby the villagers. They are in the same floor as where I sleep. So I had to do something about it. So I had to move somewhere. I chose to make a room next to the enchantment room, cause why not? It took some time to design this place, but eventually, voila. It's not the best house. I gotta admit, it's not the best house, but it's perfect for me. I love it. It's my own little design. I know it's inspired by some builds I've seen on YouTube at some point, but it's still my design. I think probably not, but I like it. So the next day, I remembered that villagers tend to spawn cats. Like, if you have a village, cats would tend to spawn at some point. So that's what happened. I found a cat and I tamed it. Like, why wouldn't you tame a cat when you see one? I then found another cat outside. So pretty cool. I also tamed the guy. So it's up to you guys to name these two. Like this guy could be Gary and this guy could be Larry, but who knows? It's up to you guys. I will choose the name that suits them best. I then spent the rest of the day trying to get a mending trade with a villager, and shabam, mending books. I then traded a bunch of my emeralds and books for that mending book, and I went straight down to the enchantment room to get my anvil, cause I wanted to enchant all my gear. The next day, Jovan and I decided to go for some ancient debris hunting. And so we did. So we prepared a lot of beds and took some fire resistance, and then we head to the nether. We dug a staircase nearby our portal down to Y15. When we got there, we went into two different directions. It didn't take long until I found my first ancient debris. And whoa, another one. And wow, I heard Jovan is getting a lot of ancient debris as well. So after an hour, we ran out of beds and I managed to come home with 32 ancient debris. On the other hand, Jovan had like 28 or something. Altogether, that's like a lot of ancient debris. Like, if you do the math, that is almost a stack of ancient debris. And that is pretty cool, not gonna lie. When we got home, I found Yammy just chilling at the base. I then smelted all my ancient debris to turn them into netherite scraps. I then took a bunch of gold from the treasure room, then turned them into netherite ingots. The amount was considerably perfect considering the amount of tools I use. Now just look at us. Look at the boys in netherite. We look pretty epic and cool. It's pretty pog. Now, after all that ancient debris mining, my pickaxe was sort of worn out, so I spent the rest of the day XP farming. The next day, I was the only one online on the server, so I wanted to do something. So I took out some blaze rods and turned them into blaze powder, then used the ender pearls and combined them with the blaze powder to make some eyes of ender. I then took some obsidian from the treasure room, then I made an ender chest. So after that, I heard a wandering trader, so I went to look for him. The guy was selling shells and tropical fish, so I thought of being an idiot and buying some. Yeah, I then killed him to get the leads. You know, who doesn't kill their wandering traders to get the leads? I then put down all my new pet fishes in the indoor lake thing, along with the 2 fishes that I didn't mention in the previous episode. So this time, along with the 2 cats, I'm gonna need you guys to name this tree fella. So that's 2 cats and 3 fishes. 5 names. I'm gonna need 5 names in the comments. Give your best ones, please. So having Eyes of Ender, I decided I wanted to go search for the stronghold or something. After a minute of traveling, I realized the stronghold was just nearby. So without much time, I already found the portal. I then waited for my pal Jovan to accompany me in this battle. Now, okay, the battle was pretty short and easy, so there wasn't much content to show, I think. So I then took the egg, then I gave it to Jovan, so he could also get the achievement. After that, we searched for the portal gateway, because we wanted to find an end city. Unfortunately, at the time, Jovan had to go, because, you know, time zone really sucks. And so I was once again the only guy in the server. It took half an hour and I finally found an end city. Like seriously, the spawn for our portal gateway really sucks. However, this end city I found is not that good. It had good stuff in the chest, but it didn't had a ship. So I just looted the chest and killed some shulker. Then I traveled some more to find another end city. And after a lot of time, I eventually found an end city with a ship. Now this is gonna be worth it. I first explored a bit, you know, this and there, and eventually I was able to get on the ship. Well, you know what you do on the ship? You get the elytra, and then I took the head. After that, I explored the rest of the end city, then killed a bunch of shulker along the way, and eventually I got home. Then I put most of the valuable stuff in my ender chest. After that, I felt like I was done for the day. I was satisfied. Now, looking back at everything we've done for the past few episodes, we've done a lot of progress. We did a lot of progress. I mean, we literally beaten the game already. And that means something, because we have only just begun. And that means something. Something good. If this is gonna be the progress we are going to live with, and I'm willing to wait for it. I'm willing to wait for it.